So now the people that want to be that previously wanted to be the only people that were the only one that was real are now moving on to the next stage of their defense strategy, now realizing I'm the most probable suspect of being the real one. Now they're trying to say, oh, that's so stupid, we're all real. You just need to respect that, and you're so selfish for even thinking that. You know what, none of us should help you survive or anything now. And we know what it is. It's like it's their desire to kill me off because they think it's like Highlander, that if they kill me off, it'll just pass down to the, and that's not Highlander. They think there can only be one. They do think that, but they think it's like a corporate position. They think if they kill me, then next in line gets it. That's what they think. It's embarrassing. Yeah, all these people that still, and let's get this, they all still secretly want to be the one, right? They all want to be the one, but because they're not the closest to it, they're backlogging and they're backtracking, and they're saying, you know, this doesn't even make sense, guys. Why would there only be one of us that was real? I mean, don't we all exist? Which is what I was saying earlier, but they're gonna pretend like I wasn't. Whatever, dude. Like I said, whenever I was put into this discussion of who was real, this is how I see it. Hypothetically, not even hypothetically, reasonably speaking, if every concept is occurring in existence, which has to be the case, it means there's a concept occurring in which I'm the only person who's real and everyone else doesn't exist, right? And the reason that I can't fully act on that is because I can't be certain whether or not this is that concept or not. Now, here's some elements for proving whether or not this is that concept. A, is everyone ethical, moral? If they are all doing the right thing with their choice to the fullest extent, meaning if there were no restrictions on them, would they treat others right? That is an important part of knowing who is real and who isn't, because people who are real have that emotional access to be able to understand these things. Okay, so that's one of them. Another one is, I notice here that every time people like try to assert themselves at my level, there's always an imbalance that causes conflict. And we're not talking about like he just needs to respect what I say. It's like they are often too controlling. They have some sort of issue that they ignore and then project onto me. And now here's where it gets fishy, because we know everyone's going to tighten up and say, no, you have issues. No, you're the one that's all messed up. And all this and that. But that's what happens here. Everyone who tries to assert themselves my equal to the extent that I exist always ends up having to do something unethical to assert themselves. Meaning they have to violate the one rule that would make that concept a thing, which is it has to be completely ethical or it corrupts or it collapses. If I'm the only one that exists and everyone else isn't real, then the only way it would work is if it was entirely not only proven but ethical. And I don't mean ethical in the sense that I can't do whatever I want. I mean ethical in the sense that there isn't somebody else who is legitimately real suffering in this place because I won't listen to them. That's what makes it unethical, right? So obviously, before I was truly exposed to this concept, my goals were simple: just figure out how to make heaven possible for everyone. Now, it can be said that the person who's most real would probably be able to believe that this is all possible in the first place. But then it can be said that that's just intelligence. That doesn't make you real. You have to be emotional and stuff like that. I think I have emotional intelligence. But then there's also this. So I already mentioned before the throwing of the chessboard on the ground, right? We no longer need to play by the rules. This is unfair. People find out that they're not the real one. They wanted to be able to do whatever they want without judgment, because none of this is real. There are no consequences, right? And so they're all like, I wanted to be the real one. What the fuck, man? Fuck, man. He's not the real one anymore. Ka. You know what I mean? Or they're all like, he doesn't look like a good person to me. No, he ain't good. He ain't a good person. Bro, he's literally being good. No, he's not. No, he's not. I'll fucking kill myself. I'll fucking kill myself if he's a good person. Shit. And he'll be a bad person as a result. Wow, that's real. That's actually, that was real. That sucks, dude. I hate that. Because if I'm not a real person, then it's not my fault that I'm doing this. So I'll kill myself if he's a good person. And if he lets me kill myself, then yeah, but the whole point of it is that you're not real, so I don't have to care anymore. That was always the thing about it. That was why I didn't like the discussion. The discussion was always weird because you can say, you know, I'm making some accusations that can be thrown onto me, but I don't mind us fully investigating it. Here's what all the non-real people do. All the non-real people will say, that must be what this is, and then they'll just run off with it, right? And they'll say, I don't give a fuck. That's what it is. That's the only thing that makes sense. And me, I'll be like, all right, well, let's just keep going. Let's see what happens. Let's see. All right, this makes sense, but let's just see what's going on. And I think that's what makes me the most real, in the sense that, like, in this discussion of one of us might be the only one who actually exists and everyone else is just a concept. The guy who's like, well, I mean, if I'm real, I'm real, right? Like, regardless of how long we wait to see, right? So let's just keep waiting, I guess. And so the guys that kind of know that they don't have that time, they'll start being like, no, look, this is the logical structure that I can use to kill him with, and I don't know better. You know what I'm saying? And even then, we noticed that they did the front back attack where they pushed me. They did wrong to me, and then they made sure that I did wrong as well, so that they could say I wasn't ethical. Which was like, this discussion of who's real obviously extends, probably, like, if I'm the only one that's real, then this discussion of who's the real person probably would extend to, like, the realization of my existence or something. And so at that point, people would have been discussing it, right? And so there would have been a plan, like, the most ethical person would be real. And that's like, I would say, like, well, the most real person would probably be the one who believes that everybody's real in some way and we can all get there. And then somebody sums it down to being like, okay, so the most ethical person is real. The person, and then they'll say it like this. They'll be like, the person who's never done anything wrong, the person who only does good things, the person the goodest person. And so all those people will be like, I just gotta make sure no one's better than me. And that's where judgment comes from. Everyone's desire to be the one that's real. That's where all this judgment comes from. And that's why people gossip. That's why people try to like, that's what I think he is. That's what I think he is. No, that's what I think he is. This is the only thing that makes sense. Because in their mind, the only way that they can be real, the only way it would make sense is if I was a shitty person deep down. Like, they see an image of me being cool, charismatic, charitable, creative, all that stuff. They'd be like, man, the only way that would make sense, because that would mean that he was real and I'm not. And so the only way that would make sense, he was like secretly a fucking rapist. Yeah, that's the only thing. No, that's the only thing that makes sense. This doesn't make sense. He can't be. And so, like, they'll do that, right? So yeah, they, like, got me as a kid when they were discussing it, made sure that they could set me up, and I was the most, like, logical suspect for it. And so I think that they purposely gave me the worst stuff you could say, just to kind of be like, yeah, but he's not a good person. That's what he did. And it's like, well, no, you guys did it trying to set me up. Like, you know, you can try to act like, I've done this several, I've said this several times. It's you tell a kid that if they don't do what you want, you're not going to feed them, you're not going to keep them alive anymore. You punish them, you lock them in the basement, right? And then you say, here, take this gun and shoot this bird, shoot this innocent little bunny. And then you say, and they do it, right? Because they're like, I don't know what to do, right? And so they do it, right? And so now you're all like, you're a bad person now. You're a bad person now. You shot that bunny. You're a bad person now. Yeah. Well, he can't be the real one anymore. What do you mean? That's how you guys said it works. That's how you said it works, though. Bro, if you change the rules now, I'm going to kill people. Bro, that's what this shit is, bro. I hate this. So, yeah. So obviously the mass response to finding out that they're not the real ones would be isolating and rejecting the real one until they die or something. Because they're all like, you know, jealousy. And jealousy is like a normal thing here. It's not a normal thing. It shouldn't be normal. But they try to rationalize jealousy as a normal emotion to have, which must mean that at some point of relativity to me, they're all jealous. And I say this from this point of view. Somebody could say arguments like, someone's like doesn't want me to be smart enough to say the arguments that could be used to beat me here, but the argument would be something like, I would say something like, well, I'm the only one whose perception can be confirmed. I'm the only one who has a desire to stay logical and to keep things real even when they aren't happening. And real is everyone can do whatever they want without collision, right? And so that would mean that I'm the real person. And so they would go, bro, just because you're experiencing from your point of view doesn't mean that other people aren't equally experiencing from their point of view. But to be fair, other people don't believe in a lot of things that I believe in that actually make sense and that lead to realness. And other people, they end up becoming unethical whenever they try to assert themselves as the real one, because that's the only way they can rationalize it, because I guess they're not. And then what else is there? There's always this quote, there's always this like thread of me meeting my intellectual equal, like somebody who can like prove that I'm not the real one, but they don't ever do that. Like I say things and I make it make sense. They'll just be like, you're not the real one because me and this group of other jealous people don't respect you and don't care about how you feel. That's why you're not the real one. And it's like, what the fuck? Y'all all combined, y'all all united on the goal of rejecting an idea. You guys realize I'm like the coolest person you know, right? Like no, like real shit. I make everyone happy, even whenever they're not fucking listening to me. That's my whole thing. Now right now I'm on my fucking like dark side shit. I'm pissed, but I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm still being completely logical, ethical with all this. Just getting rid of the ones that keep causing the problems. So, oh.